Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback. Coaching in artificial intelligence will certainly become something that incorporates, integrates, partners with one another. Yet I also want to throw something out to everybody. Artificial intelligence might actually prolong a problem that currently exists, especially with leadership coaching. So for 32 years, people ask me all the time, what's a successful coaching culture? Number one, it is people who schedule time with their people on a regular weekly, biweekly basis, focus on a particular area over a period of time, typically 12 weeks, and then move on to the next area. Those are the people, those are the organizations that really create great value. I think about companies like the Milwaukee Brewers, the Inpro Corporation. Currently, I'm working with a great agricultural firm, Aurora Cooperative, and they're creating great traction. Where people get in trouble is when they do something called observational or spot coaching. I observe somebody, I hear a phone call, or I see them interact with a member or customer, and I go give them constructive feedback. I call it coaching. But in the moment, I'm telling myself I'm coaching this person, and you probably are. Yet there's no continuity. There's no consistency. You're not driving a particular area through the levels of change. Now, here's what makes it worse, and I think makes it challenging for leaders. I think leaders also need employees who are coachable and approachable, which we also do. And when you take the statistics that are out there today, 85% of people significantly lack self-awareness, according to the study done by Dr. Tasha Eurich in her book, New York Times bestseller, Insights. Gallup reports, 21% of people are actively engaged, the rest are neutral or actively disengaged, meaning they're negative. Those are daunting numbers, everybody. So then I sit there and I think about it and I go, wow, now artificial intelligence is going to come into play. What's going to happen with that? I guarantee you, because I already know what's happened with one of our client sites. Well, we're thinking about using AI for coaching. It'll save our people time, especially our leaders. And I said, aren't they saving time right now with AI that could be reinvested in having coaching conversations? One HR leader looked at me and she goes, that's a really good point. So if people, 85% lack self-awareness, only 21% are negative, or 21% are positively engaged, the rest are negative or neutral, then we have to ask ourselves the fundamental question. Is an employee going to go to an AI tool and be transparent? Will the AI tool automatically know that person's strengths? So let me bring up another number by the Gallup organization. 8-to-1 ratio. People engage 8 times more when you lead with their strengths. The AI tool, at least initially, will not have the foundation of a person's strengths to start the coaching process. Now, let me just be candid. We build AI tools. We have about 14 AI products in existence. I'm not against AI at all. We actually have a tool that allows us to take an assessment or your assessments like DISC or EQ and craft out a coaching strategy specific to your goal and business imperatives, to your sales process, to your DISC results, your EQ results, your corporate values. We're doing it right now. I love AI. Yet when it comes down to the actual conversation, we've got to be really, really careful. Let me give you one more example. You know, I was talking to a company out of Silicon Valley, very young group, technically unbelievably gifted, and they were selling organizations on their AI tool that does coaching, but then does the end of the year review. And that was their call for action. That was their value proposition. And I saw the tool, and the guy goes, "What do you think?" And I said, "Fantastic technology." He goes, "Do you like the product?" I said, "I hate it." And he goes, "Oh, can I ask why?" I said, "Sure. How many end of the year reviews have you given?" He was sub 30 age, so I made an assumption. He goes, "Well, not many." I said, "Well, how many?" He goes, "A handful." I said, "Does everybody leave the room happy when you give an end of the year review?" He goes, "No, typically not." I said, "So if I understand you, a large company is going to have people get their coaching from AI. It'll do the end of the year review, absolving the leader that the employee reports to. And what's going to happen when that leader at the end of the year says, 'Here's your end of the year review,' the AI tool will put it together for you. But that person's been giving that person feedback all year. It's going to create a mass exit at the doors." And his jaw's on the ground. I felt like I burst the poor guy's bubble. He later sold the product and the technology. So he made his money. But just fundamentally, I have not seen the product implemented successfully. When the pandemic hit, we were all online. We're all virtual, right? What we found out was, wow, we can be productive. We don't have to build that new building. Guess what happened? Everybody started to crave to get back in person. So the two main reasons are, number one, AI is not going to have context of the employee right away. In addition to that, when we're talking about coaching, are we coaching in the moment or are we coaching with continuity? And number two, we have to realize that relationship that an employee has with coaching needs to be nurtured. They already lack self-awareness. They're already resisting feedback. Are we saying because it's AI, they're arbitrarily going to become more self-aware and more open to feedback and perspective? That's going to make that transition tough. What are your thoughts? Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.